In this video, I'm going to show you how to take Softchalk activities that are created in Softchalk Cloud and put them into a Moodle course. The Softchalk Cloud is separate from Softchalk you might have downloaded previously or installed on your own Mac or PC. Softchalk Cloud activities that are inserted directly into your course are able to be graded and passed into Moodle's gradebook. So I'll show you how that all works. And it's through what's called an external tool or an LTI connection. So the first thing we're going to have to do is go to Softchalk Cloud, and if you don't have an account, you'll need one. And you basically need to log in and create an activity. Now, the types of activities you can create are those quizzes, any of the Softchalk, puzzles and things like that. But you also need to not just create them as learning objects, but as lessons, just in terms of the way that the integration is set up between the two systems. Only lessons are able to be graded. If you just want to insert an activity, you can do that by other methods. So I'll show you how to do a lesson. We can just create a lesson online. Or you can create it in the Softchalk Create, which is that application that lives on your computer or your Mac or PC, and then upload it directly into Softchalk Cloud. So let me go ahead and create an activity here, and I'll fast forward in time. So I'm going ahead and save this lesson. So once the lesson is saved, I'm going to navigate back to the home page, and I should be able to see these lessons in my content under lessons. So I currently have two lessons here. One's demo content, the other one's Josh's test lesson here. Once you've created the content, now we're going to import it into Moodle. So to do that, I'm going to jump into a test course, and I'm going to go ahead and add an activity or resource. Select external tool, name my activity, and where there's a drop down under pre-configured tool, you're going to click and select Softchalk Cloud version 1.3. I'm going to next select content. If you're prompted with a login box, you just need to use the same credentials as you would to log into Softchalk Cloud. Since I've already logged in a different window, it's automatically logged me in and kept that session. I'm going to go ahead and select the content that I want in lessons. I currently have those two, so I'm going to select this new one. And then I'm going to click Select for LTI link. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and change these other options in terms of restrictions. This option for grading is probably the most important, because once students start their activity, you cannot change the maximum grade. So if you want to grade out of a 10-point scale, and maybe there was 20 quiz questions in Softchalk, and Softchalk was grading out of a score of 100, but now you want to score out of 10 points, you need to make sure that you fill out what you want Moodle to grade on, and Moodle will scale the point value between the two systems so that the grade book comes out the way that you would like. And then once you're done, you go ahead and save and return. As an instructor, you will be able to see more granular information about that Softchalk lesson. So if I click on this lesson now, it'll open up in a new page, and it'll show me much more detailed information about the activity as students complete it. For example, there's both a quiz popper and there's an activity in that page itself. So now let me try it as a student. I'm going to switch my window into an incognito window, and here I'm logged in as a student and just Jane Test. And if I scroll down, I'll find that content, that Softchalk content, Josh's test lesson. I can click on it. Reminds me that I must click the finish button on the last page in order for it to submit. So I'm going to go ahead and say, fill out some answers here. Sure. And I'm going to click finish. It tells me my score has been submitted. If I want a receipt as a student, I can click on score receipt and put in my email address, and my score will be emailed directly to me. This is just an option that Softchalk allows. If I'm done with this activity, there's no X button here, but I can go ahead and close the window because I know my score has been submitted and there's nothing else for me to do here. So I can go ahead and close this page. If I go to the gradebook as the student, I can see that if I go down to that test lesson, I can see I've got a score of 100. If I flip back and I'm now the instructor here, I can click on that lesson and I can see that Jane Test was able to complete the lesson and completed both of those activities. And if I go into Moodle's gradebook as the instructor, I can also scroll, find my activity, my Softchalk test activity, and I can see here that Jane Test did in fact score 100. So that is how you would insert a Softchalk Cloud lesson activity into Moodle and have it show up in the gradebook. I'm going to go ahead and leave this out of 100 points.